I've always been curious about this fruit, so I got one to make some candy and to experiment with the seeds to see if I can germinate them and grow a plant. This is a soursop, otherwise known as a guanabana or a custard apple. It tastes like a cacao pod and a monstera deliciosa fruit hybrid, but it's not to be confused with the Cherimoya because they're different fruits, but both equally as custardy and tasty. I took the dark, spiky green fruit and opened it up to reveal probably one of the best fruits I've ever tasted, hands down, something out of this world.
Yeah. Oh my God. A few more days and it wouldn't have been ripe.
The inner juicy flesh has a custard-like texture and dark, oval, shiny seeds that I removed from their custardy outer fruit layer.
Now this will take a while. Peels off like meat. It's like a corn on the cob.
Got them on a piece of damp paper towel, and the waiting game for them to germinate begun. Soursop is the name most commonly used in English-speaking countries, and Guanabana is the name used in Spanish-speaking countries. And since it's a famous ice cream flavor, I wanted to make some homemade Guanabana soft candy with just 2 ingredients, and of course grow the seeds. Well, in just 2 weeks, these little seeds sprouted tails. So I planted it in soil and waited for our soursop plant to grow. I love that this fruit is a really popular ingredient in ice creams, other desserts, different beverages, and it's even used in traditional medicine, most known for its antioxidant properties, high vitamin C, and even its antiparasitic effects and antimicrobial properties against various bacteria and fungi. I wish it was more popular in Canada, but I guess it's just hard to grow and hard to import while keeping the fruits ripe. Well, I went to check on our soursop guanabana plant and I noticed it was growing pretty slowly. And at this point, I had heard about something called a Cherimoya and how it's a fruit that's very similar to soursop with a few key differences. So of course I had to get my hands on one, but not just to taste it, to germinate the seeds and grow it into a plant. Even though soursop and Cherimoya taste the same, they're actually 2 completely different fruits. Soursop has a spiky green exterior with soft spines or bumps. The surface may appear irregular and prickly, whereas Cherimoya has a more uniform green and scaly appearance. The skin is generally smoother compared to soursop, and they usually fit in the palm of your hand, whereas soursops are a lot larger. I opened it up to reveal the inner custardy flesh and removed the dark, tiny seeds. The seeds of the Cherimoya are slightly smaller than that of a soursop, but I germinated the seeds, and after 8 weeks, they were large enough to plant in soil, so I got the seedling in a new little home, and the waiting game, yet again, begun. I was really fascinated by soursop fruits because of the weird spiky outer layer and the delicious taste that I quite literally dream about at night. And since they're so hard to find in Canada, and I found one at the grocery store randomly in December, I had to get one more. Plus, this thing's got like hundreds of seeds, so I want hundreds of soursop plants. I removed them, got them on a piece of damp paper towel to germinate, and I actually forgot about these for 3 months by accident. I usually check on them after about a week or 2, but a few months passed and I went to check on them to see a little green tail sprouting out of the paper towel. So I opened it up and this is what we were working with. I got a tiny little pot, placed our new child right inside the new tiny home, and of course the waiting game yet again begun. You'll know if a Cherimoya or soursop is ripe and ready to open and eat or not. I got an underripe Cherimoya to show you what not to buy. The grocery stores usually sell these slightly underripe so they don't go moldy on the shelves, so if you happen to buy a slightly underripe Cherimoya, know that it continues to ripen after being picked, so you can just leave it in your kitchen on the shelf and let it ripen at room temperature, and once it starts to give you some sensory overloads like touch, you know it's ripe. If you gently press on the skin and it gives, you know that it's ready to cut open, eat, and grow the seeds. But if the fruit is hard or it's difficult to press down into, the Cherimoya probably needs more time to ripen. The touch I'm talking about here, similar to a ripe avocado, it will be a little bit squishy. The smell can also help since a ripe Cherimoya and soursop will both have sweet, fragrant aromas coming from the bottom of the fruit where it was cut from the stem end. You can also shake the fruit close to your ear, and if you hear the seeds rattle inside, it likely means it's ready to cut open, the fruit is soft, and you can eat it and grow it. Well, as I waited for my plants to grow, I wanted to make soursop candy. It's actually really easy to make, and since the soursop is so sweet already, you just need some sugar and some boiling water and a pot. So if you'd like to make soursop candy, grab those ingredients and let's get to work. By the way, I got a new camera that I'm really excited to try out, so this is a few minutes of me with my new camera making soursop candy and tasting the fruit, of course, and growing it.
We're making soursop candy. Gonna get some sugar. 250 milliliters should be good. Mix it up. You gotta let the sugar sit with the fruit for about 4 hours. Let it marinate, and then we're gonna boil it and wrap it up. Should I taste one? It's probably so sweet because it's already sweet without the sugar. Whoa, that's nuts. It really has the nice texture of that cacao pod. It's chewy. It's really, really good. Oh, look at this piece. Chef's kiss. I have my Cherimoya, Guanabana, what's the other name again? Soursop with me. And now we're gonna make it into candy. Turning stove on, high heat. Then we're gonna pour candy in the pan. Then we're gonna pour it into some baggies and twist it. Let that heat up. It's just about ready to cool off. And then to get in the baggies for candy. I wanna taste it. Oh my God, this would be so good on its own as like a applesauce or something. So good.
Then you'll get your plastic baggies, you'll put your plastic pieces on a plate. Your mixture should look a little something like this. Pour some of your mixture right on top of the plastic. I didn't realize how difficult I made it for myself by cutting the baggies, so with the rest of the mixture, I just poured them straight into the baggies. I could seal them up easier that way. And that ended up looking a little something like this, so how you're gonna make your candy is your choice. Next time I'll probably try it with corn syrup instead of just sugar, but then you'll put them in the fridge and wait 24 hours until you taste it.
I'm a bit scared because the color is a little bit sticky. This is what it ended up looking like. If you can see that. I think I probably should have used more sugar, but let's try it. It tastes like the same as when I tried it before I put it in the fridge. But it's really good. Cool beans.
So there you have it, 3 soursops, some homemade guanabana candy, 2 cherimoyas, and some soursop and cherimoya plants later. This was a wild ride, and I really hope you learned just as much as I did about these unique and tasty fruits that you should most definitely get your hands on to taste, make candy with, and of course, grow into your very own houseplant child. I killed the cat with my curiosity here on this unique fruit, so thank you so much for watching my channel this week. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe, and remember that on this channel, we take the seeds from inside exotic fruits and grow them into full-blown houseplants that fruit. Thanks so much for watching again. Don't forget that
I love you.
And I'll see you next week.